Nestled along the banks of the Yamuna River, Delhi's history is as ancient as it is diverse. Its roots can be traced back to antiquity, with archaeological evidence suggesting human settlements in the region as far back as the 6th century BCE. According to Hindu mythology, Delhi is believed to have been built and inhabited by the Pandavas of the Mahabharata, who established the legendary city of Indraprastha near the present-day site of Purana Kila. The medieval period witnessed Delhi's ascent to prominence as a center of power and commerce. In the 12th century, the city became the capital of the Delhi Sultanate, a series of Islamic dynasties that ruled over northern India for centuries. Under the sultans, Delhi flourished as a hub of Islamic art, architecture, and knowledge. It was during this time that Delhi earned its name, derived from Dilika, a city founded by the Tomara dynasty ruler Anangpal in the 8th century CE. Over the centuries, Dilika transformed into Delhi, Dehli, and eventually Delhi, Delhi. In the 16th century, Delhi entered a new golden age with the arrival of the Mughals, who established their capital in the city. Under the Mughal emperors such as Akbar, Shah Jahan, and Aurangzeb, Delhi blossomed into a cultural and architectural marvel, adorned with iconic landmarks like the Red Fort, Jama Masjid, and Humayun's tomb. However, Delhi's fortunes changed with the advent of colonialism. In 1803, the British East India Company captured Delhi during the Second Anglo-Maratha War. This marked the beginning of British rule in the region. Delhi became a focal point of the Indian Rebellion of 1857, a watershed moment in India's struggle for independence against British imperialism. In 1911, the British announced plans to shift the capital of British India from Calcutta to Delhi, culminating in the establishment of New Delhi. Designed by architects Edwin Lutyens and Herbert Baker, New Delhi was inaugurated in 1931, symbolizing the zenith of British imperial power in India. Following India's independence in 1947, Delhi was officially designated as the capital of the newly formed Republic of India. Since then, the city has undergone rapid urbanization and transformation, evolving into a dynamic metropolis that blends tradition with modernity. Hello, and welcome to episode 4 of the Travel Like Locals podcast. I'm your host, Alex Tabry. In June of 2017, I had the opportunity to travel to India, where I met up with my friend Shreyans, who I had met while he was pursuing his master's degree at Texas A&M. During my time there, we spent a day in Agra taking in the beauty of the Taj Mahal and the Agra Fort, visited a Hare Krishna temple, Hindu temple, Sikh temple, and the Lotus Temple. We saw the famous sights in Old and New Delhi, and of course we enjoyed the food. Though at first the sights and sounds of the most populated city in India and the third most populated city in the world can be overwhelming, traveling here with a local will make your experience second to none. In today's episode, you will hear my interview with Virendra, a local tour guide who will tell us about the best time of year to visit, everything that you need to see, and a bit on the art of negotiation. As always, you can find a list of all of his recommendations and more on my website, www.tllpod.com. And make sure to check out this week's recipe, garlic naan, on my Instagram or TikTok at @tll_pod. But for now, let's dive into the city of Delhi. All right, I'd like to welcome the next guest on our podcast, episode 4, from New Delhi, tour guide Virendra. Virendra, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you.
So could you give us a little bit of a background on yourself and how you got into being a tour guide?
Oh, it's a big, long story. When I was a very child, I was thinking of visiting a lot of places, meeting new people. My brother was a taxi driver, so sometimes I have been in touch with foreigners at the monuments as well. So it was my childhood dream to be a tourist guide and to show my culture, to show my heritage, history, a lot of things in India. So I just decided to do that. I did not know how to do, but I was passionate. I wanted to be a guide. That's why I started looking for how to become a guide. Then I got a lot of information how to become a guide, how to learn tourism, how to. So when you have a passion in you, then you can be that. That's that's how I wanted to be.
Amazing. How long have you been a tour guide for now?
From last 8 years, I'm working as a tour guide, and before 8 years, 7 years, I have been working in travel company as well. So I know how the work is going, how the what the tourists want. I have been working like bookings, hotels, trains, flights, so many things. And after having experience, I'm having a license as well. I started working like a tour guide freelancer.
Okay, awesome. So, for people who want to come and visit New Delhi, in your opinion, what would you say are the best times of the year to visit?
Uh, in New Delhi, we start actually the best time to visit New Delhi it starts from September. September onwards, we can start like up to November till March. End of March is a good season. After March, it's very hot, around 38, 35, between sometimes 40 and 41 degree of temperature. So September to March is the best season to visit Delhi. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And for any, I guess, Americans listening, 40 degrees Celsius is about, I think, 110 degrees Fahrenheit. So, yeah, very hot.
Yes.
Perfect. Are there any major local events that go on throughout the year or festivals that would be worth traveling specifically for?
I never recommend to come at the time of Holi, especially in Delhi.
Hmm.
And Holi is very, very exciting as well. But it's difficulties because even the monuments are open, even the things are open. But the driving on roads, being with crowd, is very dangerous actually in occasion of the Holi because a lot of people are they are drinking a lot of wines and they're out of control. And the system of police also is flexible. They are not listening anybody because Holi is a festival. People are enjoying celebrating. So I have been personally, I will not ever advise to visit during the Holi. The rest of festival are very good, like Diwali. The Festival of Lamps is very amazing. Lightning, everything is very calm, peaceful. So festival of yes, I can recommend two festivals to come in India. First is for Holi. Second is Dasara as well. Dasara is a festival again for Hindu god and goddess. So I can recommend them. Yes.
Okay. And for people who aren't familiar, can you, I guess, just explain a little bit what Holi is about?
Holi, if you are really coming to Holi, our government organized the festival to celebrate the Holi, especially with the foreigners. And they have a organizational place in Jaipur, very close to Delhi. So I always ask the traveler to go there and to organize everything in Jaipur. So it's a very specific place. Nobody is like out of control there. Everything is monitored and well organized in Jaipur. And yes, but many people they like to be like locals. So if you are courageous, you are brave, you are brave means you have a like Indians, then you can enjoy the Holi as well. It's not like but you need to be very careful, very strong, and you need to deal with every situation. So then you can enjoy the Holi as well.
Okay, and I guess the holy celebration part of that is the big colors and the powders, right?
Yes, you're right. A lot of colors. Yes, when we are playing Holi with the sentiments, with the emotions, with the thinking of not hurting anybody. Holi is really amazing. Lot of colors, powder. Sometimes the powder may be chemically not good, and sometimes they take the liquid in muds. So that may be the dug of cows and buffaloes. It can be anything. It's not only the color. Sometimes if we are out of Delhi, the whole is more than the colors. So it's a very interesting as well, but you need to be habitual sometimes how to talk, how to tackle with the things, how to save yourself. Sometimes it may be small stones as well. So we need to be careful at the time of Holi.
Okay, and what time of year does Holi take place?
It takes from fifth and the end of March. Always almost half after 15th of March, maybe is the end of the March it takes place. So this
Okay.
year Holi is going to be celebrated 26th, 24th of March.
Okay. And what was the second festival you mentioned?
I mentioned about Diwali. So
Diwali.
Diwali is Diwali. Diwali means the festival of lamps. Lamps means lamps. So it's every city, every houses are well decorated. Well, they are whitewashed. The houses are well decorated. The people they distribute the sweets. A lot of things that takes place is 5 days program. So one day they are all the person, they are families, they are distributing sweets, they are cooking, they are cooking very new dishes all the time. They are, and about Diwali is like another day. This is a big story behind the Diwali, the story of Rama and Lodi, story of Sita, Rama and Sita. So it's an epic festival. So we have some faith for Diwali. It's like a victory of truth on lies. Lies means on bad things, good things and bad things. So this is a victory of good things on bad things. So everybody they celebrate this.
Okay. What time of year is Diwali?
It comes in the end of November, maybe in the starting of December and the end of November.
Great. Awesome. For anybody who's coming to New Delhi and wants to form a better connection with a local, are there any Hindi words and phrases that you could teach us?
Yes, so I always, that's a common word like namaste, we say namaste like this.
Mm.
So namaste is the very famous word, and you can say everything in one word like namaste. It's mean to respect somebody, and it's like good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Everything is namaste. So
Okay.
there's a mythological story behind namaste. Why do we do namaste? So something like in each and everybody there's a piece of God inside you. So when I do namaste, it's mean I'm doing namaste to the peace of God. So the spiritual feeling that comes and we bend the head like this behind the God. So when we say namaste to Alex or to anybody else, that we are saluting to God like this.
Amazing.
So namaste is very fantastic to learn, very easy as well.
Great. No, thank you. Okay. For people who are coming to New Delhi, is there anything they need to watch out for in terms of safety precautions?
Yes, so safety is because Delhi, I talk about India is very crowded at every visiting places. So Delhi especially is the capital of India. So a lot of crowd is visiting every day, all parts of the city. And it depends on where you are. If you are in New Delhi, you are visiting the big monuments, you need less safety. If you are visiting Old Delhi, that's more crowded, very much crowded. You need more safety. So it depends on which part you are. If you are visiting New Delhi, you just keep your belongings with you, always in front of you, and what else for Old Delhi? The Old Delhi is very big markets for everything. Like in India, wedding is a big pump and so, and every people from all part of the country they come to buy the wedding stuff from Old Delhi. That's known as Chandni Chowk. So in Chandni Chowk is a huge market. India's not in only India's Asia's largest textile market for bridal items. Even like jewelry, textile, lot of things. So they are big market there. So when you are walking, you just need to care of your belongings always in front of you. That's very important.
Okay. And I guess going based off that, is there any specific area that you would recommend tourists to stay in when they're visiting?
Tourist stay, I can recommend some very specific hotels. Like in South Delhi, we have very good hotels. Now, very good houses are converted into hotels. So they're very peaceful, very nice hotels like homestays. We have some like home at F37 is a very good hotel. And if you are trying to stay in Old Delhi, we have some heritage hotels like Dharampura Haveli, Golden Havelis. Havelis means a big house. So these have been 17th century houses now renovated into hotels. So they are running very good hotels. They are on demand as well. The meals are very good, very traditional things are going on there. So the people like to be there.
Okay. Are both of them are the big sites to see, are those spread out throughout the city, or would you say more of them are in Old Delhi or New Delhi, or you can't go
Uh,
wrong?
every place, every place in Delhi has its own unique importance and unique charmness. Like also, I always advise to have 2 days for Delhi because Delhi is a big city,
Hmm.
around 60 kilometers in diameter.
Okay.
So even it's a very crowded as well. If we start the day in the morning at 9, we finish at 6 p.m. So from these 9 hours or 8 hours, 60% of the travel time is spent in the car because the big city. So 2 days we need always.
Yeah.
And of course, if we are in South Delhi or actually, to understand Delhi, it's a very complicated thing. Complicated when we say Delhi, it's not just to the city. It's two parts. Like South Delhi, we have like Sultanate time, like 13th or 14th century monuments. If you are in center of Delhi, we have Lutins. Delhi of Lutins means the British architect who built the new center of Delhi when they changed the capital from Kolkata to Delhi, like it was 1911. So different parts of Delhi are made, are funded, are constructed, are built by different rulers. Even if we are in South Old Delhi, again 17th century buildings. So South Delhi is 14th century, 17th century and 20th century center. So we need a lot of time to visit. And always, if you want to feel the city, the people, the culture in real life, local life, then come to Old Delhi. If you want to have a big photos like charming, like Qutub Minar, India Gates, south of Delhi and center of Delhi.
Okay. And for getting, what would you say is the best way to get around the city?
Best way, we always start, we can cover the maximum in 1 day is like starting from New Delhi because in the morning, sorry, Old Delhi, in the morning, very less traffic. You can visit the places very easily with calm. As the as the day as the day goes up, then the crowd comes. So New Delhi, Old Delhi always in the morning. Then we start Central Delhi, then finish in South Delhi. So in this way, we can spend the day.
Okay, and you would travel by car or train? How would you get around?
Yes, it's very good question. Car is always good. If you are more than 4 or 5, you can have like a van or minibus, like a 9 seater, 12 seater. If you are four, we can have a sedan car, three sedan car. Even if you are individual, you don't want to spend time in traffic, then we can have metro as well. Metro because if we are having a tuk tuk is a like three-wheeler vehicles, very fast and very small. It's very fit for 4 persons, but we have to go by road. If you want to cover many places, you just take metro, just go to a spot, visit, then take metro, then go to another. So we can cover maximum by metro as well. So metro is very fast running service in Delhi.
Great. And does that run all day, or what are the hours of the metro?
Metro starts very early in the morning, like 6:30 in the morning till 10:30 in the evening. Sometimes if you are corner of the city. The last train will come 10:30. Center you are passing like till midnight. The trains are coming and going like this.
Great. And I know some places, the metro is not super reliable. How would you describe Delhi's metro system?
Oh, we just need to avoid the rush hours.
Hmm.
I have been the like metro have been working from like 25 years. So it's a 6 lines huge network of metro almost going everywhere. Like it is from the spot, it may be 2 or 3 kilometers before. Then you can have a tuk tuk. So just in 5 or 3 minutes you are at the monument. So this is how we can promote the metro travel. And of course, so car is always car where we are inside, we are safe and so on. So car is always available at every moment. Just
Okay.
we need to cope with the timing as well. If we are not in rush hours, then we are traveling very nicely.
Hmm. Great. So I think a lot of people probably come to India wanting to try some of the local dishes. What would you say are some of the top foods that people need to try while they're there?
Oh, India, it has It's like many dishes. If we talk about the cheese only, there's five types of cheese you can cuisine in different ways. So cheese is a main dish you can use in different, like kadai paneer means the cheese kadai, matar paneer, paneer with peas cheese like this. So we have different types of cheeses in India. So cheese, vegetable with cheese is always awesome if you are vegetarian. Non-vegetarian also, that like chicken tikka, mutton kurma. These are name of the dishes we can like recommend the travelers. I always advise the kadai paneer with vegetables with cheese, and sometimes butter paneer as well. It's very good dish. So the dishes made from cheese is amazing. You can try. Second thing, if we come to the chapatis like bread, so we always advise to have like garlic bread. So you can have bread anywhere, but garlic bread in India is amazing. Second thing is we have some chapatis. You know, chapatis from the flour of the wheat and chickpeas and
Hmm.
so many barley. So two things I always recommend if you are in winter in India, especially in north part of India. So you can try missi roti. Missi means that is made from chickpeas flour. Chickpeas flour
Hmm.
with wheat flour. So this mix missi roti, that's very amazing with butter with karai paneer. This is one dish. Second, barley. Barley is again this grains very little bit black.
Hmm.
That is only in the winter we can have the barley chapati. So barley chapati is amazing with taste, and many pulses means lonti there. So we can use it. We can use it in any ways.
Would you recommend trying street food for people from out of town, or I think
No,
okay.
street foods are not very. We have some specific places, where we can have some like street food as well. But street food is not safe, especially for the people from America and Europe. They are not habitual actually to have this kind of, because we have some spices and hygiene. Two things are very important to take care in mind. First is spices, second is hygiene. And food street, there's no hygiene. You know, Delhi is the most populous, uh, polluted city of the world nowadays. So it is very difficult to have the good food on the street, because we are habitual, we are having, so we have no problem. Then the travelers from other part of this world, they are having this. This is a very big problem,
Hmm.
and especially the spices are not very good. They are using on the food streets. Yes, there's some branded item. If we talk about South Indian food, Sarvana is the best chain of restaurants, so you can find everywhere. They are using the standard of cuisine. So we can have some brand chain of the food we can have, like paratha wali gali. We have some shops there. We can have some parathas. So in Old Delhi, paratha wali gali, one place is okay, but if you are testing everywhere all the things, that's very difficult.
Sure. So, are there any specific restaurants, I guess, that you would recommend people to visit?
Yes, if you are a non-vegetarian, in Old Delhi we have Aslam's chicken. Aslam chicken is the best if you are non-vegetarian, and if you are
Okay.
a non-vegetarian, you can go to Connaught Place, very close to Old Delhi. That is Sarvana restaurant. It's a very famous. We have chain all over the world. So I have been there many times. It's very fantastic, very safe in terms of hygiene and the standard of cuisine. So everything is okay there. And also I can recommend some restaurant in center of Delhi like Connaught House Club. So these are some restaurants are there. We can eat there.
Perfect. The Indian cuisine, in terms of breakfast, is probably a little bit unknown over in America. What would you say is a typical breakfast for a local?
Yes, Indian breakfast that is not very common. In
Okay.
Delhi, the people are more modern, so they always try to take like omelette and like continental breakfast, fruits and tea and coffee, so on. So this is very common to have the breakfast in Delhi. But you are out of Delhi, like in the villages, the breakfast is very unique, very simple. It's a pudding from the wheat, from the wheat pudding, like and Barley is again the brother of wheat. So the pudding of barley and pudding of wheat with milk and with a piece of jaggery. So the people, the farmers, they always use this like with a spoon, with a piece of jaggery that give a very good power and very nice breakfast. And sometimes the people they use parathas. Paratha is like a bread. Inside we have some ingredients like potatoes, cauliflower inside. So we make different types of parathas. Radish paratha, cauliflower paratha, and potatoes paratha. So parathas are usually eaten by Indians in breakfast. Paratha with curd. Paratha with curd. That is not continental. Like if you are staying in five-star hotel, there is no paratha there. So, if you are staying at homestays in India, homestay means you feel like at home. Some houses are like homestay, like for five rooms are there, six rooms are there. Family is preparing everything. They are doing the bedding, they are cleaning everything. So, family organized houses are there, very clean, very nice, very peaceful as well. So they are preparing their cuisine as well. So they are not hiring any chef or and so yeah, we have parathas in common like breakfast.
Okay. What are the typical meal times for breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Yes, in Delhi we start breakfast always at around 7:30 maybe till 10,
Mhm.
10:30 breakfast timing. Lunch timing 13 till 15 hours, from 13 to 15 hours, and dinner always after 9 p.m. till midnight. So it's a very standard timing
Wow.
everywhere, especially in the big cities. In big cities. And if
Mhm.
you are in village they start always the day very early. Like they get up
Mm.
5 a.m. Then they start working. Then they took the breakfast 6 a.m. Then they go to work at the fields. They come back at noon. They take breakfast. Then they sleep as uh, 8 p.m. All the villagers are sleeping at 8 p.m. like this. So we depends where we are.
Wow.
We are in Delhi and Kolkata, Bombay. We are following the international standard of living. If we are in the village, we are following the real village life there. So it depends on where we are.
Interesting. What are some of the top places that people need to see when they're visiting Delhi?
Oh yes, in Old Delhi especially, I can advise to see if you are in Old Delhi, the mosque, India's most beautiful mosque, Jama Masjid. I always recommend when we are visiting the mosque, we have time to climb the minar around 50 meters above. You are looking all part of the city. You are looking at the fort. You are looking at the river. You are looking at the building. So Jama Masjid, first, second, we need to have a walk through Chandni Chowk around 2 kilometers. That will show you the city. That will show you the city of 17th century. So very small street. You have a very ancient valleys, buildings, and like this. Yes. Second, this is second thing. Heritage walk. Third thing is. Third thing is like spice market. Asia's largest spice market is in Old Delhi, so everybody like to see the spices, different kind. More than 1,000 types of spices are there. Fifth is like having Kinari Bazaar. As I told you, the Asia's largest textile bridal stuff is there. So the are coming every day. A lot of thousands of people are coming to buy every day. So these are so I told you for 4 points: Jama Masjid, Kinari Bazaar, Spice Market, and Heritage Walk. So four things are very important to if you are in Old Delhi.
Okay. And then in New Delhi, or what are there different places there?
Yes, in New Delhi we start from Rajghat where Mahatma Gandhi was cremated. That's a very beautiful place with the platform where he was cremated. The very beautiful garden. So a lot of crowd goes there. It's again very good location. Then we continue towards India Gate. India Gate is like symbol of Delhi. So it's like Arc Triomphe in France. So
Mm.
this is something like very unique
Mhm.
war memorial and National War Memorial as well at India Gate complex. and then we continue. We go to South Delhi. We visit like Qutub Minar, the India's largest minar that is made of bricks. Then also we can include Humayun tomb. Humayun, it's a tomb like from Mughal era, from the 16th century. And again, if we have time in the evening, we go to Sikh temple. Sikh temple in the sense of this religion, Sikh, like Hindu. So the India's most beautiful Sikh temple is in the center of Delhi. So we can go to visit that as well. If we count the monuments, we start from New Delhi. This Rajghat, India Gate, War Memorial, Qutub Minar, Bangla Sahib Temple. So these are some spots where we can go. Even you have time. As I told you, 70% of travel time is in the car. If we go, if we have time, we have some Lotus Temple, very famous temple, the temple dedicated to Bahai faith. So Lotus Temple we have Iskon Temple, we have many things. Iskon Temple is dedicated to Lord Krishna. Then we have a Birla Temple, again Hindu temple, that is again many things to visit. So we have more than 10 spots, 10 places in New Delhi. We can stop, we can spend half an hour each places.
Wow. So would this be all of this in a day, or you said you would recommend this over the course of at least 2 days?
2 days. Always recommend to 2 days to spend in Delhi. If you are in very fast, you have only one day. We can cover Old Delhi, India Gate, and Qutub Minar. So Old Delhi we have 4 points. Old Delhi we have 4 points. India Gate, then Qutub Minar. So we have 4 plus 2 points, again 6 points we can cover in a day. If you want to cover rest of like Lotus Temple, Birla Temple, we can go there. Even we have India's largest Hindu temple in east of Delhi, that is Akshardham Temple. Akshardham is a Hindu temple again, so it's very beautiful. Lot of work is done on marble. It's like modern temples, very fantastic to visit again.
Amazing. So I think New Delhi is often known or thought of as part of, I believe the term is the Golden Triangle, with what is it, with Jaipur and Agra. I
Hmm.
guess could you tell us about how far it is from these places and what the big sites there are? Because I think a lot of people probably come to Delhi looking for the Taj Mahal and are surprised to see it's not in Delhi. It's in a few hours outside. So
Yes.
yeah, could you just tell us about getting to these places and yeah, how far they are?
Yes, if you talk about Taj Mahal is like 210 kilometers from Delhi. 210 kilometers Delhi towards yes south and east. North is Delhi, south Agra, and east Jaipur. So that comes like Golden Triangle. And every distance from each city is not more than 250 kilometers. If we talk about Agra, Taj Mahal, from Delhi it is 210 kilometers. By car it takes 4 hours, maximum 4 hours, minimum sometimes three
Hmm.
hours. So many a lot of people they do this tour same day from Delhi. If they don't have time, they don't want to stay in Agra, then they start in the morning like 6 a.m. Then they come 7 p.m. back in Delhi. So this is about Taj Mahal. Of course, for Golden Triangle, we need 2 nights in Jaipur because Jaipur is the capital of Rajasthan. So Jaipur, we have some more places to visit. So like old capital, Amer Fort is there, City Palace there, and Wind Palace. There's a lot of places are in Jaipur. So we need 2 nights because from Delhi it's 270 kilometers towards Jaipur. Then it needs 6 hours, and then we continue. Like we can spend 2 nights in Delhi, 2 nights in Jaipur, one night in Agra. It's been 5 nights in 6 days. It will be very fantastic to do the Golden Triangle. You can cover the maximum. And in between the destinations, we also have some monuments to visit. So from like if you are visiting from Jaipur to Agra, from Jaipur to Agra, we have two monuments again in between en route visits. En route visits like we have Fatehpur Sikri, that's again third Mughal capital, third Mughal, we say 16th century monuments we have there. And we have some like step bells, from where the people take the water. So before there have been the water reservoir. So we have some water reservoir in between Jaipur and Agra. So we have many things in between the road as well. We can discover, we can explore more when you are on Golden Triangle too. Even we can visit some schools, we can visit some villages. You realize the real India. So we have a very good this Golden Triangle. Uh, Once you are on this Golden Triangle tour, you are actually are in the real India, real part of India. So you are more chances to see the best of India.
Great. Could you tell us a bit about the main cultural differences that people should be aware of when they're in India, just to be the most respectful, and just any mistakes you see people make that would be good for someone to know coming in?
Actually, nowadays India is the monuments like temples on this. Sometimes the problem maybe at the temples anti time. So the every organizer or every the person who take care of the monument is aware of everything. So just be advised do what to do, what not to do. Like if you are visiting a Jain temple, you need to cover your shoulders, your knees. So we always advise to do that. And even if you are not having these, this is open, shoulder open, knees are open. Then at the entry point, they are giving their own clothes to cover this. So this is well organized. And second thing, sometimes we always advise the travelers not to indulge with the crowd, like having selfie all the time. If you are giving selfies all the time, there will be big crowd at the monuments. Then you may be in the problems. Everybody is asking for selfie, spending the time just smiling like a celebrity. Then so like Europeans and Americans are more white than Indians. So every Indian like to have selfies. We always we always advise the travelers to for selfies minimum and say no thanks, namaste. That's very important to advise this thing because sometimes a lot of crowd is coming to have selfies. Some of them are not good, and always avoid to visit the lonely place, where there's not crowd. We should not go there. Sometimes some rascals people are not good, they touch bad manner. So we need to be with good advices. We need to follow the things like not to go alone, not to go very silent places. So it's we need to be very careful at the time of. Even sometimes a lot of hawkers are there for small things. They are, yeah, of course, they are selling their handicrafts, but we need. If you like, you can start talking. You can start negotiating. If you don't like, you don't want to buy, then don't start even talking to them. Don't even say good morning, hi, how are you? Don't say anything if you don't like. If you like, of course, you can ask them and you can negotiate. If you don't like, once you started talking, then they are behind you like mosquitoes, so that they will follow you for a long time. So this sometimes are happy. And even I tell you one story at the Amer Fort in Jaipur. Sometimes what happens, the travelers they have elephant ride to climb like Maharaja, like king and queen used to before in 17th, 16th century. Then the what happens, the
Hmm.
cameramans are on the road, on the way. Cameraman, if you are smiling towards cameraman, it's mean you are giving your pose, you are giving your smile, then they're clicking your photos. Then at end of the visit they are selling photos to you. Even you don't want, when you give a smile, you need to buy them. Then it's a very complicated thing. Then we have to tell them, don't look at the camera when you smile. If you're smiling, it means you are buying the photos. So this is something like we need
Hmm.
to explain everything in advance.
No, that's good to know. What's the experience like eating in a restaurant, or what should people be aware of when they're at a restaurant?
Actually, yes, we need just we need to take care of the always taxes. We need to tell in advance. There's a taxes. The price on the menu is just a price. Then we add some like 18% or 10% taxes are there. So we need always to tell them when you are ordering the things. Keep in the tax in mind. Second thing, there is a system of giving like. Giving tips like gratitude to the service persons who are like waiters and girls and so on. When in the end of the eating at the and in the bill in invoice, you can add some tips for them. So this is in culture. It's not like if you are not giving, they may not giving you good smiles and so on. But they are always giving smiles, but just to tell them why they are giving you services very politely with smiles and so on. The reason is they are hoping for tips as well. So we need two things: telling about the tips and telling about the taxes. So they will keep in mind the price of the meals. So this is the only thing we advise always them. And of course, everybody love, they ask us what is the favorite, what you recommend. Then we recommend the very traditional, very good dishes without big spices, and very that is very good for health as well. You may, sometimes in India we serve in a big quantity, then they order each and everybody, then the table is full of lot of food. Then we advise one bowl, one order is for 2 or 3 persons is enough. Like this, then they cut and they, we advise everything what is the best you can finish and you can get it fulfilled.
Okay. And what would you say is a normal tip, percentage or amount
Yes,
for a meal?
tips in the, yes, in restaurant tips is like from 5 to 10% on the bill. Even you are not giving
Okay.
tips, it's not like that you are not good person. Even you give very small amount of tips, again tips is always tips. So always advise to have a 5 to 10%. It sounds good. If you are more happy, you can add more, like this. So we always advise, depends on you, tips is like courtesy.
Perfect. So I think a lot of people come to India, and obviously, since there's so many shops all about, they want to buy crafts or souvenirs. What specific areas would you recommend they go to? And then what are some tips that you would recommend while they're in these shops, negotiating and things like that?
Oh, very first, I always advise them. There's some emporiums in Delhi that like state emporiums. There's a government undertaken shops there, so they can have anything from there. And there you will not be able to negotiate as well. They have fixed price. They have their own tradition. They are coming from their own state. So this is something like government offices. You can buy from there. First thing. Second thing, if you do not like there, elsewhere you are buying some articles like Jaipur is very famous for textile, like block printing items, and Jaipur also is famous for jewelry items. There you can negotiate as much as you can, like 20% on the whole price, like 30%. So this is always a negotiation is always. And second thing, you need to have your own eyes to judge the quality. Of course, if I say you can buy from here, then I am sure the quality is good. If you are going the places on the market like roadside markets, then you need some your eye points. It means you need to have some intelligence on the stuff. So yes, of course, I always like this. I advise everybody, and if you are in Old Delhi is very famous for like. Authentic silver work, gold work, like precious stones have been working. A lot of work is going on. Around more than 10,000 shops are there. So every shopkeeper is trying to sell everything. So I always advise, have patience, slowly, slowly. If you feel it's very fantastic, you can buy. And even you can negotiate by 30%, 20%, even half. So this is the how I always advise the travelers to buy the things you can buy.
Perfect. Yeah, I remember when I was in New Delhi, I was in some shop and there was something I was looking at, but I didn't necessarily want. And so I was walking out the store, and as I was doing it, the shop owner just kept cutting down the price, but I legitimately didn't want it. And as I was walking down, the price just got like so low where it was crazy from what it just had started at. So it's a good tip. It sounds like if for something that maybe you want, but you want to negotiate a bit, just if you act like you don't like it or you don't want it, then that that helps as a negotiation skill.
Yes.
Okay. So I guess yeah, just at this point to start wrapping things up, what is there anything else that you think that people should know before their trip?
They should know about the Taj Mahal visits, don'ts and do's,
Sure.
and they should know when the monuments are open, what day they are closed, And second thing is the good place to exchange the money as well. That's a very big problem at the airport, at the hotels as well. They are selling the money at very low prices. So sometimes, if one time they are buying the money at the USD at the 83 rupees at the airport, then they're having the same euro out of the airport like 90 or 85 like this. It's a very things to know where to exchange money, what monuments are open. Sometimes it's better. Always I advise to have local guides like me.
So you said something about the do's and don'ts of the Taj Mahal?
Yes. If you are, yes, at Taj Mahal, of course, Friday the Taj Mahal remains closed.
Okay.
Sometimes the people are going from Delhi at Taj Mahal on Friday as well, responding.
Mm.
And those like if they have any tables are not allowed. Like big cameras, like video cameras are not allowed. Only phone and small cameras are allowed. And what are the prices are? The two types of the entry tickets Taj Mahal. One is for going inside. One is only for the mausoleum and main monuments. Like two types of the tickets are there always. So we always need to check these things before going to Taj Mahal.
Okay. And then on the money exchange, where would you recommend people to exchange their
Or
money?
always advised to buy to change the money with the authorized exchange offices. We have in central, a lot of banks are changing the money also. They can use the ATM cards. They can very easy and very fast way to change the money. Even some faithful money exchanger are there. Sometimes they give the fake currency, so we need to be careful with the recognition of the currency as well. In Banaras, we have many cases where the people are selling fake currency. Sometimes the people are in trouble.
Yeah, I remember when I was there, like if even if there was like a rip in one of the currencies, they wouldn't accept it at that point.
Yes, it happens. Yes.
Okay.
So if you are changing the money, just need to check where you are changing. It's not roadside, so not be roadside changer.
Mm.
It should be well like bank. It should be like a well good office with all authenticity.
Okay. Uh, any other messages, I guess, for people?
Messages for people just visit India. This is the message come again and again.
Perfect. And for anybody who's coming and is looking for a tour guide, how can people find you?
Oh, find me. Nowadays, I'm working with the two portals with the locals. One, second is as you booked me, and second is Tour HQ as well. I am there, and I have designed my own website as well. If you find me, you can see me there. That's Taj Mahal Voyages. I'm very close to Taj Mahal, so I give French word Voyages, Taj Mahal Voyages. You can search me there. Some reviews are there. I organize the trips like Golden Triangle, same day Taj Mahal tours. Yes, even you can type my name on Facebook. You can Virendra Kumar. You can find me there as well. So three things where you can find me: to rescue with locals and go with guides as well. I have my profile on Go with Guides. So these are some portals, local guide portals where you can find the local me as well.
Perfect. Well, I will link everything that you have mentioned on my website and yeah, have everything there, make it easy for you to connect with Virendra and just all of his recommendations. So, yeah, once again, no, thank you so much. This has been very insightful.
Thank you. Thank you, Alex. It was very nice to talk to you. And I feel very good when I explain about my country, about my things. What can I do? What can I advise you, especially when you are promoting somebody? Yes.
No, that's great. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for listening to this episode on Delhi, India. Once again, you can find all of Virendra's recommendations and more on my website, www.tllpod.com. And if you head over to my Instagram or TikTok at tll_pod, you can find my recipe video on garlic naan. As always, please let me know which location you'd like to hear about next, and happy traveling.